Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another one of your episodes of the A to B podcast. Welcome back to all of our monthly and weekly listeners and subscribers. Thank you guys so much for the love. We are back to another week of you guys' episode. If this is your first time watching one of our episodes, make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, comment, and let us know what you guys think. Like always, guys, I wouldn't be here if it wouldn't be for my amazing co-host, Barry Bull. What's up, Barry?
Life is a mist. Master Guns don't even know that song because he's too young. Okay. He is too young.
Oh, man.
What's up, you guys? Motivated.
Like
I'm actually like a lot of memories and stuff. Obviously, 9/11, Memorial today, many years ago. 23 years ago.
This episode won't come out obviously today, but we are recording today, September 11th. Yeah. Very historic day. I think we can all remember what happened during that day. But today, guys, we're bringing you, since it's a historic day, we're bringing you a historic podcast because we brought to you guys a recently retired Master Gunnery Sergeant of 28 years in the United States Marine Corps. Listen, I couldn't hack at 14. This guy did twice as long as me. So we brought you guys the Master Guns that all of you guys like and love on TikTok. We brought you guys Big Top 0699 Master Gunnery Sergeant Edwards. What's going on, Master Guns?
What's going on, man? That's the last time you call me Master Guns. All right, so it's Drew from now on.
Got you.
And that song was like a prayer.
Very inappropriate song. Very inappropriate.
Was it?
Yeah, go back and listen to the words. And you'll be like, wow.
It's probably inappropriate. It was Madonna.
Do you
remember who was in the video?
Down on my knees.
Okay, praying. You don't pray on your knees? Communist. You guys heard it here first. ISIS over here. That's weird.
Oh, man.
He is so funny.
Keep going.
Master Guns. Oh, well, Drew, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. I know we've been talking a while. I actually got to meet you in our retirement ceremony down at Del Mar that one time. That's when we exchanged phone numbers. And from there, man, I saw you invited me to your retirement ceremony. I wish I could have been, man. Thank you so much for the invite and congratulations on 28 successful years.
Thank you.
What brings you to the podcast?
I mean, I've been watching y'all, for a while, and we've been interacting, and then I've been following Barry for a while. Matter of fact, I started following Barry off Facebook, man, because the Staff of CO page.
Facebook or MySpace? Because y'all the MySpace generation.
That's cool.
He wants to be mean.
I can tell you exactly where I was. How old were you on 9/11? Did you read about it in school?
Yeah, it's cool. I was actually in 6th grade.
Yeah, okay. I was on duty.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But yeah, the Staff of CO page, man, and they was on his ass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like,
who is
this
because
guy?
staff and COs are so supportive.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
they will support you.
I don't say nothing on there, man. I don't say nothing on that page. I just watch.
I exited that group.
Yeah,
when I started into podcasting because there's a bunch of toxic motherfuckers in that fucking group.
It's bad, but it's a lot of young guys, man. It's a generational thing. But yeah. So and then I saw y'all were together. I'm like, okay, them dudes all right. Let me see what they talking about. And so here we are today, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I like that. You know why? Because it's like you saw through the BS.
Yeah. I'm an adult, so I think that's required. Whenever you get somebody presents you with information, or they present you with a narrative, or they present you with their story, and it's been colored their way, right? I think it is imperative for you to kind of look through the bullshit.
Yeah,
I can say bullshit on here.
Yeah,
are you gonna
of course.
Okay, so you can look through that, and form your own opinion, understanding that your opinion is still informed by something else, your own life experience. So, I think that you still be saying weird shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you be doing something with some stuff be a little weird, but I still mess with you because that's you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand that your opinions are informed by your life experience, and I ain't lived in your shoes.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate them. However, weird they may be.
I agree with that, and that's why I just told you that you're one of my top 3 creators on social media, just because of the realness that you bring to the realness, and it's legit fucking funny what you said.
The skits, though, the skits.
Yeah, the skits are
because
fucking.
I still haven't figured out how you guys are doing this thing where it's like the video is hitting you, but you're doing the voiceover to your own video. It's like, how do you even do that, dude?
Yeah, so it's weird because I did a couple ones just kind of just messing around with TikTok, and like 4 people like, yeah, it's cool, dude, sit down. And so, because I just never really been that good on social media, and I didn't, for a long time I wasn't using it for its proper purposes. So, yeah, I was like, let me see how this works, and then one day I did the one about the lieutenant.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's funny.
And
I think that's the first one that
where
blew
he
up,
comes
right?
in and he's like telling you to do something or whatever.
Right. And it's funny because I've had lieutenants back when I picked up Mass Sergeant, or not picked up, but pinned on Mass Sergeant. I had a lieutenant. He was new to the company. And he came in and he was kind of giving me like, oh, I'm going to need you to do this, I'm going to need you to do that, and blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And I was like, look, sir, I don't work for you. I don't work for you.
Yeah.
We work together. I work for one officer in this company that tells me, what I have to do and what I don't have to do, right? All the things that you're talking to me about are things that you should be talking to your sergeant and staff sergeant.
Yeah, but can you pause real quick to dive into that for the people out there who may not understand?
Right.
Because there might be some non-military types and they're going, hold on though.
Right.
He's an officer.
Very correct. Very correct. Now here's how that...
Because you're right. I agree with you.
Yeah. Now here's how that could have went. He could have been like, look, Mass Sergeant, I'm a lieutenant in the Marine Corps and you're going to do these things and blah, blah, blah. Fair enough. Roger that, sir. I'll get right on that. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to do the things that the captain wanted me to do. And the captain's going to come in and be like, what happened with these things? Hey, your lieutenant came in here and said I had to do these things. And then when I told him that I work for you and that those don't coincide with the things you wanted me to do, he told me to shut up and color. Here I am coloring. And then he's going to have a conversation with the captain. Now, why have that happen? When I can school that young lieutenant, like, sir, and you getting this is nice. Hey, sir.
100%.
I don't work for you, sir. Right?
Yeah.
I work for the captain here. I'm the operations chief for the company. I work for the captain. The things that you're asking me to do are actually fall in the first sergeant's realm. But I know that you're scared of the first sergeant. I saw how he was talking to you the other day. So you came in here to tell me.
Gosh damn it! I wish I would have clipped all this.
I'm not that. I'm helping you out. Now, what you can do is when the sergeant or the staff sergeant, when the things you having them do, and they're not up to par, then you come get me. And if they fall in my lane, I'm gonna help that staff sergeant out. But what that is schooling that, because what could happen is I'm teaching him wrong. If I'm like, yes sir, right, and I go off and do
then
it,
he gets crushed,
right? Because he'll get crushed somewhere else, right?
That's right.
So
take note, staff NCOs. This
officers,
this is a very wise conversation.
This is exactly how it works.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
and Master Guns is right because that captain, it would have been like, what?
Exactly, and it would have been like, you don't have a mask, you don't rate a mask on you.
The lieutenant would have been well within his right to come back and be like, why didn't you tell me that?
Right, exactly,
yeah.
Exactly, and that was my, So when I made that one, it was, and usually I just use a video maker on my phone. It's super ghetto how I do it. I don't have any of this cool stuff. I just be like, set the phone up here, and then after I record, I kind of time.
So you already have the skit in your mind,
right? I have a rough outline.
Okay, so you've thought about and then you're like, all right, the lieutenant's coming in, and I'm gonna freaking say that they're saying this. So what do? You just in the video, you hit record. You're the Master Guns. Yep. You say something, pause.
Yep.
Say something.
Actually, I say something and then stop the recording, and then do it again, stop the recording. So I can't just record the whole way through and then edit it out. But I just stop and record it. I just did that a couple times and then put send, right? And it was like, okay, get back to work.
Yeah.
And I get home. I mean, I was looking at my phone, but I really wasn't paying attention, right? And I get home, and my daughter, who was living with me at the time, she's like, "You went viral."
You're like, what? Like, you're like, okay, but did you do the dishes?
Right. I'm like, shut up. What's weird was I was my son's mother and I were together at the time, living together. She didn't even know I had a TikTok, and she was like, "What you viral?" And so my daughter's like, "Yeah, he went viral on TikTok." "Oh, we got TikToks now." I was like, "Yep, here we go." All right, here we go.
Okay.
But yeah, it got like 40,000 views or something like that on that thing. And after that, I just kept making them.
Got you. Now, I think I love the way that the conversation started because it started with some real wise it started like a real wise conversation, but that was Master Sergeant Edwards, seasoned Master. You didn't always start like that.
No.
When does your career start in the United States Marine Corps?
So I joined 1996.
1996.
As a matter of fact, I signed up in 1995. I used to tell my Marines. I don't have Marines anymore. But I used to tell my Marines when I joined the Marine Corps, you couldn't be gay. You could not be gay. In 1995, when I went in depth, and what I may do, I don't know if y'all can cut this in or whatever, but I'll send you a picture of my contract, because our contract is on there on MOL. And my recruiter asked me, it's like, "Are you gay? Are you homosexual? Do you engage in any homosexual activities? Are you attracted to the same sex?" I was like, I mean, it's 96 or 95. It was like, hell no. I'm gay, right? And you had to sign.
Yeah.
Thing that said that you do not engage in any homosexual activities. Now, I see your faces, right? You know what I'm saying? Especially a producer, right? I had to come back in. Clinton then, because I served under Clinton. Clinton then signed Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
So then I had to come back in and re-sign. So if you look at it's lined out. It's lined out, and I had to re-sign.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that was 96. I then heterosexually joined and
heterosexually.
And went to boot camp out here.
What's that mean?
On the West Coast.
And okay, because I just want to be clear.
Oh yeah.
You want to be.
I'm a mountain Marine.
So where are you originally from?
Indiana, Gary, Indiana.
Indiana, got you.
So I went to MEPS in Chicago. I was like a lot of brothers in boot camp. Not a good swimmer.
You said it. I did not say that.
That's because you can't. But
well, he said it in the past.
I have said it.
He ain't supposed to. But yeah, I mean, I don't. But here's the cool thing: like
you were aquatically challenged.
I just didn't swim. Yeah. I've been to pools. We went to the pool every summer. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, because when you say this on TikTok, right?
Right.
Everybody comes in the comments and like, you wouldn't know what it's like, Barry, because you didn't grow up in an area where they don't have swimming pools. And now you're telling me that you did have them.
I had access to swimming pools. I cannot speak for all the brothers, right?
Okay.
Right? But
so when y'all come for me in the comments,
still go for him. So look, check it out.
Dog.
Still come for him. You know what I'm saying? He's using my anecdotal experience
Hold up.
to validate his painting of the full culture. But anyway, it's all right. Me and him, we gonna get our thing. But yeah. But I learned to swim really well in boot camp.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, but real talk, were you scared of the swimming part?
No.
Like, was
the
it
drowning part was the scary part. Like drowning. Once I started swimming, I'm like, this is pretty cool. It was not swimming that I was not cool.
Well, like, why are
there's a lot of things going on there. Here's the deal. When you're swimming, you are using muscles and you are using motions that you don't normally make.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you do it all the time.
Sure.
Right? You are more buoyant in salt water. So you're gonna float better there, but in a pool filled with chlorine and sweat and pee, right? And other Marines, you're gonna, or as you are recruits, if you're not used to making those motions, because it requires you to do that, all the things, right? Legs, breathing, right?
Well, I asked because when YRF Tony came in, he said that literally was like, he thought about that. That is I'm scared of this. If there's one thing holding me back from boot camp, it's the swimming part. Can you relate to that at all? Or was it just?
I wasn't scared of that. It was the thing that I feared was not completing boot camp. I didn't graduate high school.
Wow.
So I got a GED. You know what I'm saying? I got a GED. And I'd always been letting my mom down. I got kicked out of school when I was 15, 16, selling weed.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was like $30 worth of weed, and we found it and decided to sell it. We just happened to sell it to a kid. I went to this was a performing arts high school. I was in a humanities program, and so sold to a kid named Hadley. I won't say his last name, but he just happened to be a kid that was brought in, had played with the Philharmonic. He was like 14 years old and already played with the Philharmonic Orchestra.
You knew he was ratting you out.
He was he's Doogie Howser, right? And so he got caught trying to smoke it on the bus. And he was like, oh, these are guys that sold it to me. It was a big deal. So I ended up getting expelled. I did a lot of stuff, man. Got locked up when I was for weapons possession. I did all the things coming up. So I didn't want to let my mom down again, right? I was like, I didn't want to let my mother down. So I was like, I'm going to finish this. And my dad wrote me a letter in boot camp, one letter. And the letter was like, I don't know why you told your mama what day you're graduating, because you ain't going to graduate, right? My dad, that's how my dad is. He's a tough love kind of guy. And so it wasn't the pool, it wasn't the night infiltration course or the gas chamber or any of that shit.
Fear of failure.
Yeah, I didn't want to fail.
So recruiter antennas came on. How easy was it for you to enlist back then? Because this is before wartime.
Well, yeah. I got a couple of stats right here. It was in the 1700s, you said?
There we go. Muskets.
Muskets, yeah. No.
It took them a while to let the brothers get the muskets.
Yeah. Bacon was $1.24 a pound. Beef was $1.89 a pound. Clinton had actually just got reelected in 96. Let's see here. Yeah.
Gas is what, 89 cents a gallon? Roughly 90 something.
Okay, yeah. Gas was $1.23. The median household income was 35 G's a year. Wow. And the cost of a new house, $166K.
That's that. So this is average across the country, right?
Across the country,
so that's still adding in Cali and New York.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. In Indiana?
It was way cheaper.
Nah, in Indiana, it was like $12 for a house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was.
They redesigned $100 bills.
Mm-hmm. That's when we got the big faces.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's when they came out with Scantron. They had the Blu-ray, DVDs. Yeah. What else did they have?
That was game changer right there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
there was.
So whenever it comes to you enlisting, how did that interaction happen?
So I had my homeboy, me and Gus. Gus was like, "Hey man, they got a college fair going on, right?" And we knew that's where all the girls was at. The smart girls went to college fairs. The smart girls were the ones that was they was freakies, right? So
okay.
So all the smart girls were at the college fairs. So he's like, we go to the college fair, pick up on some, And so we go and we're walking around the college fair, we're doing our thing, and there's Stash Owens. He's sitting there with a model M16 A1, small, working model, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that's a piece of shit right there. He's like, what you know about that? I'm like, that's a piece of shit. The pieces are too close together. You can't get it wet. You gotta constantly gotta clean it. You know, when it's first, that model you have has a 15 round magazine. You know, we put that against a 30 round magazine in Vietnam of the AK-47, which you can bury in mud. You know, it's no competition. And what about accuracy? I mean, in the jungle, what am I worried about accuracy for? I need something around that's gonna cut through the jungle, and I'm gonna need one that I can.
You were having a full blown debate with this recruiter
with a stats, right? He's like, "Oh, so you know what you talking about, huh?" I was like, "About that, yeah, right." You know, my dad's a gun collector. He had a AR-15 Delta with an H bar before having ARs was a cool thing, right?
Oh, damn.
So, he's like, well, you know what, man? Let me take you to have some chow. I'm like, all right, I'll roll with you. You know, so the next day he came, got me. He's like, what you doing with your future? Da, da, da. I'm like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Just give me McDonald's, man. You know what I'm saying? He's like, we eat McDonald's, I'm just getting free food. So I blew him off. He keeps calling, like, if you ain't taking me out to McDonald's, I don't want to talk to you, right? My mom calls. I'm living in Gary at the time. She's just living in Indianapolis. And she's like, what you going to do with your life? And at the same time that commercial came on, the
Slaying the Dragon?
Not the dragon, the chess pieces.
Oh, I remember that one.
It's the chess pieces. Yeah, it's the chess pieces, right? And I'm like, I'm joining the Marines. And then she calls me back a week later. It's like, I talked to recruiters down here. Da, da, da. I'm like, about what? She's like, the Marines. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she started crying. And so I was like, okay, I'm joining the Marines. So I called Staff Sergeant Owens back. He has me come down, take the take me the initial test, and then the physical one and the ASVAB. He has me come down and do both. I blow the ASVAB out the water, and then I go take the real one, blow that out the water.
Does that mean you did really well?
Yeah.
Okay, because I just...
And then he's happy. Boy, he happy. He's like, oh, yeah, man, got you, boo. I got one, right? I was like, yeah, I'm going, man. I'm all about it. You know, you ever smoke weed? Yeah, he's like, don't worry about it. Get you that. Can we take care of that? And we chopping up for about a week. I'm like, I'm going to Marines, right? He's like, all right, so when you graduate and we get there, I'm like, oh, I ain't graduating. I barely go to school, man. What are you talking about? I don't think I'm gonna graduate. So he goes, look, what the hell? We go to the school. The school's like, all right, well, he can graduate on time if he comes to school at 5:30 and has the morning classes, regular school, then goes to night classes, passes all his classes, he'll graduate on time. I'm like, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing that, man. I don't go now.
You want me to go at 5:30?
You want to go at 5 in the morning, man. Mm-hmm. So they like, he got to get his GED. Well, I was 17. School's like, no way. We're not letting them drop out to get a GED. The vice principal was a Marine.
Hello.
And so he's like, but he fought in Vietnam. He's like, no way. This dude, I know he's not going to school, but this dude is damn near a genius. We can da-da-da-da. And I'm like, dude, I'm not doing school. So my mom calls the school. She was an educator in Indianapolis. She calls the school and is like, you need to let my son take the GED. I'm giving you permission to. He's like, man, we don't think that's right. Da, da, da. He's like, look, here's the deal. Now, Gary, Indiana, if you look it up, in 1995 was the murder capital of the world. Like,
what the fuck?
Right? It was bad. And so she was like, if anything happens to my son between now and the time he joins the Marine Corps, I'm talking about a broken leg, he loses too much hair, I will sue the school district. The school will be named after him, and you will not be working there.
Yeah, she was meaning business.
So she was like,
damn.
So they were like, okay, we'll let him take the practice GED. I go down and take the practice GED. Blew it out the water. It was nothing. I think every graduate should have to take a GED. You would be amazed how many people wouldn't pass it, right? So took the real one. There's a whole ceremony. You go down and get your diploma, right? I'm not doing that, man. I felt now, as an adult who has just got my college diploma, so I got my associates. I'm about to get my bachelor's. Now, as an adult, now I kind of see it, right? I'm like, okay. But back then, at 17, 18, I'm like, you guys are losers like me. Get your old ass out of here with a cap and gown on. You know what I'm saying? You're like 52, getting your GED. What are you about to do? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do with your GED now? But now I get it. Like, it's a thing. You wanted to have that rite of passage as an American, as a citizen, right? To I want to say I finished that. You know what I'm saying? I get it. And so I get it, especially as a guy who's putting doing a LinkedIn page, and they used to say GED on there, right? So after I got my GED, I still smoked weed again in depth, like an asshole. Had to get another waiver, but that's 2 waivers, a GED, and I still, went in the Marine Corps. I went in open contract instead of Intel. I was supposed to be Intel.
Got you. So if you qualified for an Intel program, that means that you really did really well on that.
Yeah, I took the D Lab in boot camp.
So I'm guessing then, if you did really well, you were physically in shape as well then.
Yeah, I was all right.
So how was boot camp for you? Because what I'm getting, right, is like, you back then you like to make like your own rules. You knew you were smart, right? Like you knew that this was nothing but a thing for you. Now boot camp, you get put in front of drill instructors that you have to comply.
Right.
I'm curious to know, how was that experience for you?
Yeah, 1996. What was boot camp like? Because number one, you didn't have YouTube.
They had no YouTube,
so you weren't watching
I had a tape. So we got there's a tape that they slid into the thing, right? They slid into the VCR and said, this is what boot camp's like, right? And it's people marching around, running and stuff. I'm like, okay, I can do that. I can walk with the rhythm. That's not something I can't do. I had people yelling at me all the time. My dad was a fireman, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a disciplinarian. Now, he wasn't like Joe Jackson coming out swinging, but he was still, he was a disciplinarian. So I was not unaccustomed to, I wasn't unaccustomed to discipline and structure. I just looked at structures and power systems as what really makes you valid. Like what gives this structure or this authoritative system validity? And if it's a teacher, are you smarter than me? Right? Now, most of the time they were. But in my young 17, 15, 16-year-old head, right? And so, Now, boot camp, but I understood, like, okay, this is the real deal. Now, 46-year-old me looks at a sergeant drill instructor now, and I'm like, dude, just apply. Chill out, right? Come on, you're Motor T, right? But as a 18-year-old going through boot camp, everybody was a grunt. They were all recon to me. You know what I'm saying? They all had combat action ribbons. They all had necklaces with ears on them underneath there. You know what I'm saying? In my mind.
Wow.
Right? And I came off, I grew up during the Cold War, the latter end of the Cold War. You know what I'm saying? So, I did duck and cover drills at school. We get an alarm saying there's a nuclear weapon on the way. Get under your desk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I grew up in that atmosphere, which is, you gotta miss that shit. If you think about it, having a real enemy for the country to focus on. Hey, we don't like this. We don't like these people. We don't like this ideology. And
that's why I still love Rocky IV.
And they're over there.
Yeah.
Right?
Now we don't even know who the enemy is.
We don't know who to hate.
So we don't know who to hate, and then that's why we get school shooters.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That's a whole nother podcast. But So I grew up like that. So we got the gut check. You were a drill instructor, right? Did y'all do a gut check moment?
Oh yeah.
So our gut check moment was during we went up north. Second phase. We're up north. And we got to watch a movie. They brought in Full Metal Jacket. So we all watch a Full Metal Jacket. We go getting all hyped up. They come inside. It's like, turn the movie off. Hey, here's the situation. I don't know if you noticed, a lot of drill instructors are leaving. They're going home to see their families right now. You guys just got done with warrior training. You're going on third. You'll skip third phase boot camp. You're going directly to some of you going directly to your line units. We're like, what? It's like North Korea just crossed the 38th parallel. They're going to need Marines, and you see these faces like I joined at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? Nah, big dog, we going to war. And some Marines. So
this happened in 1996.
96.
Wow.
And so everybody was like, the drill instructors kind of let us stew for a second, right? And then it came as like, hey, that was your gut check moment. That little fear that you had in your stomach. There you go.
Oh, dude, there was people in there crying.
Oh, yeah.
We did ours in the House of
I didn't even know that was a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
We did ours in the House of Knowledge in the classroom, and I remember sitting there like, I'm not a punk, man. I'm not like some buster that I'm gonna get up here. These fucking guys are in here crying, dog.
This dude's
You
crying.
know?
Damn,
Like,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, but you said something very, very that I found very intriguing. So you said even in boot camp, you weren't unsure that you were gonna graduate.
Oh man, I hate running. Like, I hate running.
Okay.
I don't like the concept.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel like if God wanted us to run, he would have given us more legs. Right? Like, I feel like God's looking down when we're running, like, what are they doing? Like, why are they doing that? I don't know, man. You made them, right? I was like, so I was never the rabbit. I was like, and everybody looks at me as like, you should play basketball and you should be able to run. I can run better now.
Yeah.
I still really don't play basketball, right? But that was a struggle for me. Running was always a struggle. Pull-ups, nothing. Crunches, nothing. Push-ups, nothing. Just like the breathing and the pain, right?
Oh yeah.
He's a drunk.
So
Well, you could kip back then in the pull-ups.
In the beginning. So kipping was ending. I'm the last platoon before the Crucible. Mm-hmm. The next company did the Crucible after us. And we were the last ones that get kipped in the beginning, but we had to start during the dead hangs in the middle of boot camp.
Mm-hmm. So the reason why I asked that, right, is because what I'm trying to get understand, I'm trying to get into your mind space back then, right? Because obviously, now it's easy because we're talking back into your 28-year career.
Yeah.
So I want to get into your mind space because 18-year-old, Drew Edwards, that had prior history of like, defying and like getting kicked out of school and like doing all this other things. And then now you were in boot camp. How, like, I'm trying to understand, at what moment was it that you said like, yeah, man, like I'm in this, like I can conform with this and I can make a career out of this?
First phase drill. The initial drill competition.
No way.
Yeah. There's something that psychologically happens to an individual when there are massive amounts, not even mass, but a group of individuals doing the same thing with one purpose, right? Collective thought, right? It works for gangs. It works for, neo-Nazis, Crips, Bloods, Americans. To get everyone, do you remember? We were just talking about September 11th. Do you remember September 12th? Do you remember what this country was on September 12th?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it was all united. It didn't matter.
That to get individuals on, and people use it for nefarious means, and people use it for, for good, man. Mm-hmm. But to hear us all, to moving those weapons, that sound, those boots hitting the deck, you know what I'm saying? There was just something about it resonated with me, right? It resonated with me. And when I was saying earlier about me looking for validation from power structures, the Marine Corps had history, man. Like there was a history. That's what I tell a lot of, I got Army buddies. I got a lot of Army buddies. I got buddies in all, 28 years. I know people all over the services. And it means something when, any country, any group of people that speak the same language and draw a line in the sand could say, we're a country. You give 5 of those people pitchforks and give them the same outfit and you say, hey, we got an army. You put 2 of those people in a boat and you say, hey, we got a Navy. But not every country can field Marines. To say I'm in the Army, I am a soldier, these are not titles, right? It is different. It's a different thing, right? I was saying anybody can join the Army, man. I think you got to have like a waiver if you don't have a neck tattoo. Like anybody can join. And I'm not saying
you love neck tats.
They're awesome.
You love women that have them.
I do. I do. I'm all about neck tattoos, man. Just not on my Marines. And there's a difference. It's a club. You know what I'm saying? And to start believe and start seeing that you are part of a real fraternity, that we are, everybody in this platoon, 92 of us are going through the same adversity. Your pain may be different, but it's still pain.
Well, hold on. I thought the military wasn't for young black men.
God, you Barry.
See, we're not going to let you off the hook, man.
So, no. All right. So this was
you got an audience out there. What are you going to tell them?
I'll tell you this. In school, in I want to say 5th, 6th, 7th, all the way through high school, I never said the Pledge of Allegiance. I refused. I would not say a pledge. I would not pledge allegiance to the United States. Now, personally, I don't think it should be compulsory for anyone to have to pledge allegiance to the United States. I think that is antithetical to who we are as a nation. But mine was solely based on the history with race in this country. It is a different experience for a young black man in America to be in the service. What it does do, and I say it's different because our experience in America is informed by different things. There's a large group of individuals in America that when they think of who is and who is not an American, when they say, oh, American, they think about what's America. My face is not the face they think of. Mm-hmm. It's just what it is. But I know that, and I still joined. My love for the country is not a love because of. It is a love in spite of, and therefore, to me, makes it more rich and thicker, right?
Well, it makes it unconditional.
Right. Folks, I do love the country. And folks need to understand that I'm not going to, because I say I love the country, doesn't mean I'm always going to rah-rah about what we do. Mm-hmm. That's just what, that's not love. That is, that's like cult-like behavior. I'm not cultic about this country. So, but I'm going to call her out when she's wilding.
What would you say to young black men and women out there right now? They're 18, middle America, Middletown, USA, wherever they're at. Mm-hmm. They're on the fence. They don't know. What should I do?
That's a real personal question or not a personal question, but that is a decision that has to be, it deals directly with their experience. My experience is a little different, right? Than anybody's. I don't disparage anyone from joining the service at all. I hate the fact that when I drive across the country, and I've driven across the country maybe 4 times, right? There are still sundown towns in America, right? You know what a sundown town is?
I don't.
Sundown town is, you know what one is, right?
I do.
All right, sundown town is, you can come here during the Sunday, during the daytime, but your black ass better be out here by sundown.
Oh,
There's still sundown towns in America. If you look at a map and you see what's blue in America and where is it's red, where is most of the blue conglomerated around?
California, yeah, the cities.
Well, the cities.
Well, the cities, yeah.
Right? In any part of America, if you see the large metropolitan areas, that's where the blue is, and blue, quote unquote, is more progressive. And so you'll see more urban areas, and when I say urban, I mean there'll be more diversity in black people living there. But the rest of the country, but I put my uniform up, so I put my alphas in the back, right? During 15, 16, when I was driving through, I put my Make America Great Again hat in there. Now, I would never wear it, but I do put it in the back of my back window. So just in case I run across someone who feels a little sketchy about me being in their neck of the woods, they'll very least assume that I'm like-minded, right? I say all that to say that it still means something to be a black person in this country. Racism and bigotry, I don't believe racism or bigotry went away with Martin Luther King Jr. I think it became.
Well, first of all, Marines are some of the most racist people ever.
Right.
Ever.
I don't think, and I won't even say racist. I will say we have some bigots, and what I will say to that is. It didn't go away. It just became unfashionable.
Yeah,
to be openly racist. Right?
Well, and when I say that, like we in the military and the Marine Corps, we joke around so inappropriately.
We go hard.
But then you got people that are like for real, and they're not cool.
Right.
You're like, okay, you're actually like we're just playing, we're joking. Because we're brothers and sisters, we're a family, but you're actually like, you know what I'm saying, dog?
I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that when I was coming in, and the reason for it is because I was never really here in the United States. I was in Puerto Rico.
Well, yeah, we own that, right?
Yes, you guys definitely should.
Watch out, this fool wrestles. You guys wrestles iguanas.
You guys, the United States definitely owns it. It was part of a crack deal made with Spain.
Are you guys voting yet?
No, actually, no. We don't. We don't even vote. We vote in the primaries. We can't even vote for the president. Believe it or not. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, I think
DC neither. Don't worry about it.
Well, the reason for
DC.
I think it's deserved. I think it's deserved. I think it's deserved in Puerto Rico because. How can we vote for an American president when we can't even vote in the right people in our own government?
Right.
And that's gonna sting a chord with a couple of people. I really don't give a shit. But I'm listening to the conversation, and this is a very, very deep conversation whenever it comes to a lot of things. We're talking about racism. We're talking about a lot of things in the podcast, but. I'm trying to walk the audience.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to walk the audience towards, the progression that led you to how intelligent and how wise, the words that you're saying are coming.
Tell Barry, because Barry's the one like, well, what's it like being black?
Yeah, Barry.
I'm trying to tell you, he's like, yeah, well, hold up, time out on that. How long have you been black in the world? Like, man, all right. What would you tell all the gang members in the hood now? I'm like, oh, you put me on the spot. All right. Real quick, I tell them join if they have the heart. Join if they have the heart.
Your son,
my
daughter.
My daughter is in the Air Force. Both of them. My son.
What? Well, okay, time out. Now I got to do a Barry. Now I got to do a Barry. How old are your daughters?
24 and 22.
Okay, so when did they join?
daughters. My youngest 2 years ago, and my daughter straight out of high school. My oldest straight out of high school.
Okay.
Oh, wow, so she's been in for a minute.
Yeah.
So how did that conversation go with you? You being at that time probably either a master guns already or a master. So how did that conversation go whenever your daughters were like, "Dad, I'm going to join the Air Force"?
Good, because I don't want to pay for college. Good, yes. Air Force, yes. You can go.
Okay, but what about the Marine Corps? Was the Marine Corps ever an option for them?
It was an option. It would not have been a good option for my daughters. I know them, right? I have girly girls, right?
Okay.
And this may rub people the wrong way. Do I want to say this? Yeah, I want to say it. I have very rarely. I know there are some out there that don't, but I've rarely met a young woman in the Marine Corps that had a great relationship with her dad.
Whoa.
I'm gonna let that one sink in. I'm gonna let that one sink in because I gotta think about it for a second.
And now not all of them. I has rarely met them. Right? I know they out there. I know somebody out there. It's like I love.
Yeah, because they're gonna come at you in the comments. I have a great relationship with my dad.
We're all dead.
I'm just saying through. No. Not like, I know they're out there. And I say I very rarely have, but I'll ask, like, just a question, how are you and dad? And some of them like, hey, my father, or he went near. And so a lot of times they come, I see a lot of women who have joined the Marine Corps who are either looking to replace a dad, to prove something to a dad, right?
Oh my gosh, I hate that. Prove it. I hate that.
Or, you had a dad that was there but that didn't hug enough, or maybe there were males in your family that hugged a little too much. Mm-hmm. And therefore you wanted to prove that you could defend yourself against them, right? I've seen that.
Well, it's like a double-edged sword, right? Like we always say the Marine Corps is a calling, and it's like this big special thing, which it is.
Right.
But like it can go the other way too, right? Like, okay, why did you really want to be this?
But and you know what? So I'm not disparaging any of those reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
Your reason's your reason.
Your reason's your reason, right? Because none of us joined for college. Didn't nobody join the Marine Corps to go to college. None of us joined. It was that uniform, and we wanted to be the best, right?
That is true.
We want if you joined, you wanted a challenge.
That's right.
That's just what it is. You can, because you could have went to the Army. The Army, you can go to the Army, like, we give you a challenger today from boot camp. You get a challenge. You get a challenger after you get out of boot camp. We give you $50,000. You can get another neck tattoo, right? Like, that's them.
Dude, I just smell another TikTok coming. That was a whole skit. That was hi guys, you're joining the Army. Here you go, you little rascals. Get in here, get yourself a neck tattoo. It's kind of like getting your face painted at the circus, but this time we're actually going to obligate you for 4 years.
But that's we all could have did that.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had the scores to get in the Air Force. I mean, as if, let's keep it real. It's not like you're doing the SAT to get into the Air Force. They try to pretend like, you gotta be. 51 will get you in the Air Force, dog.
It's not like you're a fellow at Yale.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're not.
It's the Air Force.
A 51 will get you into the Air Force.
You're not a pilot.
They actually don't even go by like the AFQT score. They actually go by the line scores.
Yeah.
Because their jobs are so specialized that they don't even go by the AFQTs like we do in the Marine Corps.
Right.
Like in the Marine Corps, the AFQT is a big thing, but in the Air Force, it's really the line score. So you can score like a 32, but if you score really high in your line scores is like what gets you the actual job.
Right, so
in the
your
Marine
EL,
Corps.
your
clerical,
EL,
exactly.
Right.
So all of those things, if you score high in those in the Air Force, they'll call you back. But because everybody always thinks Air Force. I've had people that have been turned away from the Air Force because they just study really hard for the math and English parts, and they score like 80 something, but they're not the smartest group in the bunch, so their line scores were really low. So the Air Force was like, "Yeah, we don't want you."
I could have got a damn Air Force. I didn't want to go. Right? Once I started drinking the Kool-Aid, I'm like, yeah, it's the Marine Corps. So I don't disparage anybody's reasons for joining, right? And I'm not saying that women are broken, but by the time I had daughters old enough to go into the Marine Corps, after and just dealing with my anecdotal experience with women, all as a Marine, when they say they want to join the Air Force, I was like, okay, they love me, right? So
I was going to ask you that. How real and was it even a subject of conversation in your household whenever you was a Marine, knowing how the Marine Corps is very manly like, and the things that you might have experienced as a leader in the Marine Corps? Was it ever a conversation as in like, yeah, you might not want to, you might want to reconsider if you join in the Marine Corps, even the Marine Corps, just because
the Marine Corps
you didn't want.
My daughters never even, and they've lived on base. They've been, they was never
okay.
So you never even had to have that talk.
I never had that talk.
Okay.
With them, I did have a talk about their character in the Marine Corps or in the air when they joined the service. In the military period. Yeah, yep. I did talk to. I was like, hey, look, and there's some double standards out there. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Do I think it's right? Nah. Do I think it's cool that half the clothes in this room were made in a sweatshop? Nah. But I still got them on.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. We still live. We still, what I'm saying? That's just life, right? It is. We live in a broken world. So, and this is a broken thing. And I would let my daughters know, hey, look, dudes gonna be coming at you left and right. My daughters are beautiful, man. Dudes gonna be coming at you left and right, and you're young. You know what I'm saying? And you're not gonna be underneath my thumb or your mother's thumb. There's gonna be some things you're gonna want to do, and you are gonna do, right? Mm-hmm. But you better be careful, cause in this world, once you catch a label, you're gonna wear that label for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I got friends that are sergeant's major, right? Female. And some of them have a sort of history. We was all young once and stupid. Right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And so I remember walking out of one of their offices, right? And the guy I was with was like, she used to be right? I'm like, damn, she a whole sergeant major now, dog. She a whole grown woman. You see, she got pictures of her family up on the board.
Yeah.
Like, so whatever she was, that has still stuck with her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I immediately thought about my daughters. Like, man, I told them, I said, hey, man, y'all gotta be careful, man. Mm-hmm. Because there were people out there that will give you a label, and and you'll keep that label all the way till you I don't know whatever a sergeant major is in the Air Force. I always mess with them. Like Chief Superstar Sergeant, Superman. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is. Super General. Super General Star Sergeant.
Neil Armstrong, and you're an astronaut, a space cadet.
Whatever you become, there'll still be somebody out there trying to, you know what I'm saying? But a part of that goes to people, people like to leave you where they met you anyway.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? If they met you and you were, say I was a crackhead back in the day, mm-hmm. and they met, and I used to smoke crack. I didn't smoke crack. Just making sure everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. But I'm 28 years in the Marine Corps, I'm a homeowner, you know what I'm saying, doing all, about to get my bachelor's, but I'm an upstanding citizen, right?
Yeah.
But somebody, you used to smoke crack, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
that's how it is. That's how it is too.
It's like with your DIs. My DIs are frozen in time in my mind.
Right.
You are a staff sergeant.
Yeah.
I don't care if you retired as a 4-star general. You are still,
and that's to me, that goes into that. It speaks to, who we are as humans, man. That kind of stuff takes work. For a person to be like, I knew you were this back then, but you are this now, and I will now interact with you as this person, right? Mm. That takes work. That just takes work.
It does.
I've had that happen so many times in my life, whether it was even military, civilian, romantic, professional, or otherwise, and it's like, you don't know me anymore. You ain't even been around me for 6 years. That was me before and everything else like that. And respectfully, you don't even have that voice in my life anymore.
Right.
And, and I understand what you're saying, but, I don't do that anymore.
Right.
I'm not that way anymore. There's been 6 years is a long time or whatever it is, right?
But I think that a lot of times the work that it takes. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I'm be having these philosophical conversations with people, some of my close friends, and we were talking about racism and quote unquote homophobia. I don't know if it's homophobia. Are we calling it that anymore? Can we say that? Homophobia?
Yeah, you can.
I think it's a
no idea.
Non-supporter. Just to be safe, not
I'm
get canceled.
accepting. I'm an accepting person, so I don't even know.
Non-supporter of the LGBTQ plus community.
We'll go with that. And I only say I'm not disparaging the community. I'm just saying I know there's now a new term that describes what homophobia used to describe. I just don't know what it is. In any case, and I just came to the conclusion that none of that stuff's ever going to go away. Because it requires too much personal work on the individual. It is easy for me to default to my instinctual shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, and it's the same way. It's the same reason why terrorism and why some parts of the world will always hate us as Americans.
Yeah.
It's because the question that creates is, how do you kill an idea?
Yeah, I agreed.
You don't. You don't. These people get bred around this type of stuff because of their ideology. So how do you kill that ideology? Is you don't. You would have to commit genocide.
There's only one,
and it was tried already.
There's only one possibility in my mind. It's generational. It's got to die with this guy or this gal. And if they let it live on,
still part of history though.
And it is, but I'm just saying, and if that father, mother, brother, say whatever, if they keep it alive with the people in their world, and those people in their world subscribe to whatever that is, it's a problem. It's a problem.
It has, and I would agree that I take it a step further that it not only has to die, it would only way to be killed generationally, but it takes. That type of stuff takes a community to do. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I say it takes a village to raise a child, it also takes a village to indoctrinate that child as well. And indoctrination, this is that's just part of life, right? To get the full community thinking on the same line, it has to be some form of indoctrination.
But as a human, I mean, we're all like a little bit. We got that haterisms in us.
Yeah,
because I don't even care if it's like if I'm in. I remember when I lived in Sacramento, and this guy comes over here and he's a decked out Green Bay Packers. I'm looking at this guy like, dude, you are way, way out of bounds right now.
That is,
and why is it always a Packers fan?
Barry is literally this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? We have a tribal way of looking at things.
Yes, you ain't wearing the same stuff.
Yeah, you ain't like. They did a study. One time, man. These guys did a study outside of a soccer game, right? Over in Europe where soccer means something, and so. Soccer's cool in Oceanside. It's super cool out here, man. But they did a study, and after the game, they dressed up somebody in a different uniform than the other team, and they sit them on they're getting sick or having a problem, look like they're really struggling on the side of the as people
like
walking by. Social experiment, and to see who if people would walk by this person heaving and screw you, that's how all people get over there.
Right. Make them British.
Well, it was Europe. I think
it's all right. He's over here.
Everybody in Europe has that. It was Game of Thrones, right?
It's
so
all right.
And they did that, and everybody walked by. It said 98% of the people were like, "Yeah, we don't care about this guy because he was in a different what's it called." Sure. But we are tribal. You know what I'm saying? That's instinctual, and that's what I'm saying. It takes work to forego your instinctual desire to group, to other, to, you know what I'm saying? We do it in the Marine Corps. Yeah. We're all Marines, but you're a grunt. Oh, you supply. Oh, you come, right? We do it in the military. I'm a Marine, you're an Army. We group. That's just, so for me to do the work, I can do it myself, right? I can do it for my family. Like, hey, man, we don't do that. All people are saying they have to prove to you. We can just throw out the content and character Martin Luther King line. Everybody likes to throw around a lot. We can do the content and character thing, blah, 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 right? Yep. But if everybody in the community ain't doing that, when they leave me, they're still what? They're members of society, and they're still going to want to group together. My kids are going to go somewhere, and if everybody in the room's like, yeah.
You have your in-groups.
Yeah, we hate this. You know what I'm saying? What brings people together more? Hey, we all love a thing, or we all hate a thing. Mm-hmm. And if we all can hate something together, like, oh, I really hate that. Hate gives such a more visceral, real feeling. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So people will group around that. Next thing you know, my kids will come home and be like, man, we hate Puerto Ricans now, Dad. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm joking, man.
I understand.
I know. Well,
I don't get it.
It's good thing. It's good thing. We've been talking for about an hour. I think we haven't even gotten past the 1900s yet. We haven't even touched the 2000s
because of Barry.
It's because of Barry, 100%. Like I told you guys,
got something weird to say. I'm surprised he's not tripping.
Master Guns is 172,000 years old.
Oh, I'm surprised he's not tripping, man. You know, I wore my short shorts just to see if he say something.
The homeboy, this was Moses. Hey, this is Moses' deacon at church talking about get the collection plates in the back because they ain't gonna get themselves.
Just saying, you know he don't like people to wear short shorts. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Barry, I gotta ask before you make us go. Barry, why you always be tripping about what the women wearing, man? He be on them, boy.
Trust me, we're gonna talk about that.
I be waking up and sometimes he be on. I'm like, man, what, you get up early?
No. This would be Barry. This would be Barry with his microphone.
Yes.
With his coffee. Yeah.
I guess it would make fun of Barry at work today, guys.
I'll just be like, damn, Barry.
All I say is, if my girlfriend's wearing a yellow G-string on.
Dude, I don't even say anything. I ask people, how should women dress? And I get attacked.
Man, it's like the same. It'd be the same chick. It'd be one in there that's be like, I hate you, Barry. I hate you're a misogynist. You're the racist. I think you're racist too. You don't like gays. I'm like,
yeah, they do.
But Barry be setting them up because you be saying
I
weird
do set
shit.
them up.
Yeah, Barry be setting them up.
Barry come on there and be like, stop acting like you're back from the block. And then he'll get off the thing and be like, all the brothers like, hey, what you mean by back on the block?
Dude, that was like a year or two ago.
Oh, boy.
That one went viral.
You know what? I was about to get on you, but I was like, you know what? He ain't ready for this. This is some knowledge.
But that's not even a Marine Corps thing.
Well, it was.
In the Army, they were like, that's an EO violation. And I'm like,
for us, back on the block was a thing for, I was a part of Soul Patrol. You know
dude,
what I'm
I remember the Soul Patrol.
Patrol.
That's what we called blackbirds in boot camp too.
Yeah.
Soul chickens.
Soul chickens. Yeah. Really? Soul chickens? You see what I'm saying?
If y'all want to know, when you get 2 E9s or a group of senior enlisted, like the backdoor conversations, like, man, I wonder if they're talking about my NJP. No, they're talking about this type of shit. Okay, so guys, listen,
he is right though.
I am not even going to do the handles because we still got a lot more to cover. So make sure that you tune into part 2. Possibly gonna be a part 3 and 4 in this one.
It's gonna be a couple parts.
So it's gonna be a couple of
Master Guns with the boot camp in Babylon. So we got to start there.
So we're going to end it now. I'll see you guys in the next one.